Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at the top business stories. Dubai looking at tapping the bond market. World Bank encourages Dubai to set up pension schemes for expats. And US President in search of new ways to create jobs. Let's look at the UAE stock markets first. Shares fell after data from the US, India and China fueled concern that global economic growth is slowing, dampening investors' appetite for riskier assets. The DFM lost 0.3% to close at 1,551 points. Commercial Bank of Dubai, for instance, lost 3.2%. Ema Properties was down 1.3%. Arab Tech lost 0.8% and Air Arabia fell 0.4%. One of the few shares to gain was Aramex, which with a plus of 1.7%, or Dubai Islamic Insurance, which gained 1.9%. Volumes were low today. Only 56 million shares were traded, valued at 67 million dirhams. And over in the capital, the ADX fell only slightly by 0.1% to close at exactly 2,700 points. Dana Gas lost 1.6%, while Gulf Cement Company dropped 4%. Etisalat, however, traded towards the upside with a plus of 0.5%. Alder Properties rose 0.8%. Gulf Medical Projects Company surged 5.3%, and First Gulf Bank was up 0.9%. 60 million shares were traded, valued at 89 million dirhams. And let's now take a look at the GCC equity markets. The country's main benchmarks ended mixed today. Dubai may sell as much as $5 billion worth of bonds to help fund investments after bond yields fell to the lowest level in at least 2 years this month. According to Bloomberg, the Dubai government will use the proceeds, for instance, for infrastructure spending, it said in a prospectus distributed by London-based regulatory news service last week. Yields on Dubai's bonds due in 2014 fell to the lowest level since their sale in October 2009 to 4.5%, a comparatively cheap environment to tap the bond market. Dubai would follow Emirates Airline, which on June 1st raised $1 billion from the sale of 5-year bonds. The Dubai government is looking at plans to develop pensions for foreigners as the World Bank is advising local authorities to further enhance employment laws and expat staff benefits. The prospect of a pension could help to attract more foreign workers to the Emirate, World Bank officials said. Currently, not many Dubai employers offer pension schemes. The current law only states that companies have to provide end-of-service gratuities to those employees who have completed 1 year plus of service, something that is now being considered to be changed into a pension scheme. Strong growth in the private equity industry in the Arab world is set to boost demand for CEOs, CFOs and directors, according to a new report by executive recruitment firm CT Partners Middle East. Healthy growth in deal flows and fundraising, as well as an increased number of acquisitions and direct investments, signals the private equity industry could be positioned for a comeback this year. For this expansion, more and more top senior managers will be needed in the coming months. Private equity firms are still fairly young in the Middle East, with the first one being set up around 5 years ago. However, they often are an appealing investment vehicle, both for institutional and retail investors. And in our fast financial news, retail investors on Nasdaq Dubai increased their share of equities traded on the exchange to 11.6% in May, up from 8.9% in April and 5.7% in March. The continuing expansion came after Nasdaq Dubai started routing all its equity trades through the trading platform of Dubai Financial Market last year in order to improve access by individual investors and boost liquidity. Emirates Islamic Bank expects to aggressively expand and lend this year, hoping to shrug off the effects of a loss-making first quarter, the bank's deputy chief executive told a local paper. The Sharia-compliant lender plans to open 5 new branches throughout the Emirates this year. It has already hired 80 staff, and 60 of which are Emiratis. And after the break, we will run you through what's making the headlines in international business today.